45. The Enclave existing in the West Coast. If it didn't cease existing, then somebody explain to these old Enclave veterans who are convinced it doesn't exist. 46. The Enclave existing within walking distance of NCR territory. The Bears obviously got some serious blind spots. I would also have pointed out the Enclave soldiers here are using laser rifles instead of plasma rifles, but Bethesda added that in Fallout 3. In 2, the Enclave just used energy weapons. They've retconned a retcon, so I'm at an impasse. Do 2 retcons make a rightcon? What's that audience member made out of straw? That was an awful joke. Well, was as bad a joke as these?
The guy was fucking my chickens.
Ability?
Clean that.
We all know that, Jet. Messing around with your cousin, it's all well and good for kids, but it's not a sustainable long-term sexual practice, you know?
Yeah, I know.
The young man Woody interrogated this morning? He left an impression on me.
That is the gentleman who showed me his butthole.
Yes, but what I took from that is a desire to communicate.
Ass jerky don't make itself.
Now that is one wet lady. You want to make my cock explode now? Sorry, intercourse?
Get that jelly mold out of here!
A great game of the all right. This one's it. I'll get it this time. The key to the future of humanity is nope. Maybe I have to.
And the award goes to, the Game Award goes to Fallout.
Well, then I say I have a lot further to fall before I reach that level of depravity required to be hired for a $150 million project by Amazon Studios and approved by Bethesda Softworks. Don't I? I guess I'll have to schedule another trip to the Lobotomobile. 47. All the vaults having a single crop that they grow in their vaults according to 𝐷𝐿𝐴𝐺. 48. Vaults being sustained on crops as opposed to food synthesizers.
This is what a cornfield looks like, honey.
Get that jelly mold out of here!
You wouldn't get this dinner, you'd get flavored paste at best. At worst, you'd get an unflavored, thin, watery gruel. 49. Vault doors being opened with nothing more than a Pip-Boy. 50. Pip-Boys from the 3000 series onward not having a biometric lock. Wait, did Bethesda retcon that yet? It's very difficult to keep track of all of these retcons. 51. Vault dwellers being stupid stand-ins for privileged American liberals.
You're back, and in one piece. How goes the search? We've debated this before. You ought to know now after being out there. You think the rest of us could survive that? Besides, I'd be out of a job. I'm management. It's not like I know how to do anything useful. Look, I know it's got to be tough, but we're counting on you. And we're running out of time. Please keep trying.
To the surface dwellers and to each other, what we mean when we say we're going to build a better world.
Thanks, Reg. That is a positive spin to put on it.
It's not a positive spin for me. It's the gosh darn truth.
Have you found the chip? Well, you've certainly earned that right. But let's take care of survival first. Give me the chip, and we'll discuss this when you give your report. Please, the chip. Okie dokie. One moment. The chip is initializing. There it goes. Self-test is green. Reboot is good. Ha! It's working, and it looks like we have a winner! Oh, you've saved us. You've done it. Nothing? No. Oh, no. It was something. Don't downplay what you've done. You've saved a lot of lives. All right. Now we need a report on what's out there. Please, go to the library.
Our recently dwindled numbers, the most ethical solution would be to rehabilitate the prisoners and then integrate them into our vault society.
But there is nothing we can't do when we set our minds to it.
I can teach the Raiders Shakespeare, and when they're ready, Marlowe.
I don't want to be insensitive, but I think Shakespeare might be too advanced for these people. Well, I would like to start with a moral framework. Kant, Mill, and so on.
I'd be happy to teach them introductory calculus.
What is it I can help you with? Of course. What can I help you with, citizen? No, we do not live in the vault. They were a temporary measure to protect a chosen few from the war and aid them in the subsequent construction of a new world. What you heard was incorrect. Our archives are quite clear. Our vault received the all-clear signal 2 years after being sealed. There is no overseer. When we came to the surface, we formed a new government. The overseer position was superfluous. Correct. I am first citizen of Vault City. Good day to you, stranger. I am first citizen Lynette. May I inquire as to your business here? Overseer? Why, no. There has been no overseer in 100 years. How do you know of the Vault Overseers? Descendant of the Vault Dweller? What do you... The first Vault Dweller? What? You must mean another vault. We have never been in contact with another vault. Where is it located? Village? First you tell me you're from a vault, now from a village? Which is it? My patience for your double talk is wearing thin. Oh, now I understand. But what proof do you have that your ancestor was from a vault? A tribal legend? You'll need something more substantial than some tribal myth if you want anyone to believe your claim. Do you have any conception of how busy I am? I run this city, and I have precious little time to waste with you and your wild claims. You barge into my chambers, and then have the audacity to insult me, Lynette, first citizen of Vault City? Yes? What is it? For a non-citizen, you certainly demand a great deal of my time. Why do we condone slavery? The system has been in place for many years, and it works quite well. Both parties benefit from the institution. They are not slaves, they are our servants. We have given them homes, food, clothing, and a purpose. We have given them a life. I believe it is time you left. I suggest you make your stay in Vault City a short one. Do you have...
I'm going to have to ask you to leave him alone. Now, I acknowledge that I'm unfamiliar with your circumstances, but at first glance, your treatment of this man appears unfair, and I'm obliged to intervene. Now, if your instinct is to harm me, as a person simply trying to de-escalate a conflict, then I'll have to assume of the two of you, you are likely the primary aggressor. In which case, I think everyone in this town would agree that force is justified. Unless you willingly stand down now.
Fucking vault dwellers.
How are you holding up? Well, ain't we all, right? That was a long time ago. I don't pay it much mind anymore. Yep, he sure did. Wanted himself a hotel, and to make sure once he made the change there'd never be any going back. We didn't get a say. I don't know how you'd argue with a fella like that anyways, everywhere and nowhere all at once. So, just like that, we was all homeless. Went our separate ways, and that was all she wrote. Eventually, we made our way out here, but, well, when folks spend their lives in isolation, sometimes that ain't the best of things for learning to fight off germs. We was going to California, but Good Springs was as far as we got. After she passed, wasn't no reason to keep going. I stayed so I could keep close to her. Well, I already told you I came from a vault. After that, I was a traveling doctor for a spell. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Most folks out here ain't educated, so people with medical know-how are hard to come by. I found that I could help a lot of people with what I knew, and that was all right with me. Eventually, I went back and married my childhood sweetheart, and that was the end of my traveling days. Didn't miss it none then. Still don't. This here's Good Springs, named after the water we got here, just down the road to the southeast. Good Springs Source, they call it. It's a quiet town, and that's how we like it. We don't go looking for trouble, though occasionally it sees fit to come looking for us. Well, there's a general store just up the road, run by a fella named Chet. He don't got nothing fancy, but he's got your basics covered. If you're looking to wet your whistle, just past Chet's is the Prospector Saloon. The bartender there, Trudy, knows everyone in town. Other than that, there's not much to see. Just people trying to scratch out a living.
52. The Brotherhood of Steel existing somewhere in full force and not hidden in bunkers. 53. The West Coast Brotherhood not being estranged from the East Coast Brotherhood and being completely okay with the East Coast's flippant betrayal of the Codex. 54. Power armor, vertibirds, and the Pridwin crossing the entire breadth of the United States across the Legion, New Vegas, and NCR territory without being shot down. 55. West Coast chapter initiates not being born into the Brotherhood. 56. No evidence of any T-51 power armor or energy weapons in the Brotherhood. 57. The presence of an American flag, despite the Brotherhood being ideologically opposed to America, having succeeded and mutinied. 58. A distinct lack of female Brotherhood members. The Brotherhood is basically 50-50 between men and women. Women are knights, paladins, scribes, and elders, but here there is only one woman in the entire Brotherhood of Steel. Why? 59. The LA Boneyard being called the Wilds. It could have been called LA, Los Angeles, the Angels Boneyard, or the Boneyard, but even with a multiple choice question, they somehow screwed this up. 60. The rank of squire existing on the West Coast. 61. The rank of squire, previously seen in the East Coast, is a rank for those too young to be made into knights, scribes, or paladins. Maximus and co. are too old to be squires. They should be sorted into their castes by now. 62. Knights having power armor. In the Brotherhood, the knights serve as engineers and scouts. They weren't the ones that were given power armor. Usually, they are depicted with recon or other armor in Fallout 1, 2, 4, and New Vegas.
The scribes copy the plans for the weapons, and the knights make them. The paladins protect the Brotherhood from harm. Many covet our technology. We have at least 4 attacks a week, from raiders to just people who want to steal what we have.
Only in Fallout 3 do knights have power armor, which given the other entries is clearly a mistake. Not the first mistake in the writing career of Emil Pagliarulo, with the first mistake in his writing career being the first time Emil put pen to paper, in which he made the mistake of putting pen to paper with a hand that was attached to the body of an idiot. 63. Knights having a personal squire they get to treat like crap, like a medieval knight as imagined by a Hollywood director that thinks he knows more about a subject he obviously doesn't. 64. A branding ritual for squires. 65. Squires being promoted not based on age or military aptitude in their duties, but on acts of bravery. 66. Brotherhood knights or paladins not being highly trained experienced soldiers akin to special forces such as the SAS, being instead cowardly buffoons as portrayed in the show. 67. The duty of the Brotherhood being to better this fallen world, and not, you know, hoarding dangerous technology. 68. Non-native species such as rad roaches in California, but no deathclaws, geckos, mantises, rad scorpions, super mutants, or any of the common native fauna of the West Coast. Check that, make sure it's okay. 69. Yaoguai being called bears. 70. A lifelong member of the Brotherhood leaving behind a whole bag of high technological equipment and weapons for any random peasant with a grudge to find. 71. Power armor being essentially an Iron Man suit. 72. The armor having a visor and a removable codpiece. 73. The voice modulator. It's clear they only invented this so Maximus could hide his identity. 74. The Brotherhood of Steel exclusively using Latin names. 75. Ghouls and other wasteland creatures emitting radiation trails. 76. The Brotherhood massacring an entire settlement for no reason. 77. The Brotherhood having these weird incense guys. 78. The Brotherhood having clerics. 79. The Brotherhood at one point ruling the wasteland, or wanting to rule the wasteland. 80. Power armor having an instant kill button on its front. 81. Power armor not having a functional lamp on its head, or else Brotherhood of Steel paladins being too stupid to use it. 82. The Brotherhood being capable of defeating the NCR. 83. Brotherhood and NCR tactics amounting to charging at each other waving their respective flags like something out of Gettysburg as imagined by an idiot Hollywood producer. 84. The West Coast Brotherhood using that US Stars and Stripes modeled flag. 85. The rank of knight or any promotion in the Brotherhood being something a random scribe can bestow on a squire. 86. The Brotherhood allowing this mouth breather to live without punishment despite him killing a fellow Brotherhood member, injuring another, losing a quest item, losing his power armor, losing his bag. They didn't even ask about Thaddeus, so apparently they assume he killed him too, and finally stealing the power armor and identity of Superior and leaving him rotting naked in the desert when the Brotherhood of Steel has carried out summary executions for far less.